Jimmy Kimmel is in trouble. And not the oops bad joke kind of trouble. This is career-shaking, bank account crushing trouble. Millions of dollars gone, projects canceled, and now even his future on ABC is on the chopping block. What happened? Jimmy Kimmel's downfall exploded after a series of tone-deaf jokes and unhinged political rants that finally pushed audiences over the edge. Viewers were fed up with his relentless jabs at half the country, and the backlash hit Disney like a freight train. Behind the scenes, executives panicked as ratings for Jimmy Kimmel Live hit record lows, making it impossible to justify his $10 million raise. To make matters worse, Kimmel's behavior off-camera wasn't helping. Sources revealed he refused to change his material, even after being warned it was costing the network millions. Disney had no choice but to scrap his upcoming $8 million Disney Plus show and leave him in the dust. The result? Millions lost, his reputation shattered, and his future at ABC hanging by a thread. It's no secret that late-night TV isn't pulling the numbers it used to. But Jimmy Kimmel's show has reached a new low. Ratings for Jimmy Kimmel Live have tanked so badly that ABC is struggling to justify keeping it on air. The audience just isn't tuning in anymore. Once a staple of late-night comedy, Kimmel's jokes now feel stale, and viewers are making it clear with their remotes. So why was it so popular in the past? What changed? Back in the day, Jimmy Kimmel Live was a breath of fresh air. It had a mix of funny skits, relatable humor, and celebrity interviews that felt genuine. People tuned in because it was lighthearted and entertaining, offering an escape from their daily lives. But over time, the tone shifted. Kimmel started focusing more on politics and polarizing topics, and the humor that once brought people together began dividing them instead. The jokes became predictable, the material repetitive, and the audience simply lost interest. Kimmel's financial hit isn't small. He was set to receive a $10 million raise on top of his $15 million annual salary, bringing his paycheck to $25 million. On top of that, Disney had greenlit a family-friendly comedy series for Disney Plus, starring Kimmel, with an additional $8 million payday attached. But with his ratings in freefall, Disney executives canceled both the raise and the project. In just a few days, Kimmel lost out on $18 million. A hit that even a Hollywood star would feel. This left me wondering, why would he receive a $10 million raise if the views on his show went down? Isn't $15 million more than enough? Well, after doing some research, I found out why. It all comes down to Hollywood's obsession with star power. Despite his declining viewership, Jimmy Kimmel is still a recognizable name, and Disney hoped that boosting his paycheck would keep him loyal and motivated. Executives likely thought his brand could help revive the struggling late-night format or bring credibility to other Disney projects, like the now-canceled family-friendly series. But let's be real, $15 million is already more than enough, especially for a show that's losing viewers every week. In the end, the gamble backfired, and Disney pulled the plug on the raise faster than Kimmel could crack another outdated joke. The Disney Plus comedy series was supposed to be a big deal for Kimmel, a fresh, family-friendly project designed to show a lighter side of him while appealing to Disney's streaming audience. But after his late-night show's ratings continued to plummet, Disney executives pulled the plug. What is the Disney Plus comedy series? The Disney Plus comedy series was pitched as a lighthearted, family-friendly project that would feature Jimmy Kimmel in a brand new role, something far removed from his late-night persona. The idea was to create a show that appealed to Disney's core streaming audience, families looking for wholesome entertainment. Early reports hinted at a blend of comedy sketches and scripted segments, with Kimmel front and center as the fun dad type. But here's the problem. Kimmel's recent material and reputation couldn't be further from family-friendly. To make it even worse for Kimmel, Disney CEO Bob Iger got involved personally. Iger is under immense pressure to fix Disney's crumbling ratings across ABC, and Kimmel's declining popularity became impossible to ignore. Insiders report that Iger himself ordered Kimmel's resign and project to be canceled, focusing instead on saving ABC's sinking ship. With his own legacy at stake as he plans to step down in 2026, Iger is making bold moves, and cutting Kimmel loose might just be the first of many. Now you might be wondering, what other shows caused Disney's crumbling ratings across ABC? It's not just Jimmy Kimmel Live, dragging down ABC's ratings. Other shows are falling apart too. The View has been hemorrhaging viewers, with audiences growing tired of its overly political and repetitive debates. Good Morning America is another struggling giant, losing its edge as competitors pull in more engaging and diverse content. Even ABC's once-beloved Kelly and Mark isn't immune, as viewers tune out from what many call stale and disconnected programming. These shows, combined with Kimmel's decline, have left ABC in shambles, forcing Bob Iger to step in and shake things up before the entire network collapses. When Disney executives suggested Kimmel switch up his material to see if it could improve ratings, he flat out refused. They wanted him to try something different, maybe less political, more universally appealing. But Kimmel stuck to his guns, insisting that his current style was fine. This refusal to adapt has frustrated Disney higher-ups, who see his outdated jokes and repetitive routines as one of the main reasons for the show's downfall. Behind the scenes, Disney board members are locked in a debate over what to do with Kimmel. Some believe he should be allowed to take creative risks with his own material, arguing that this might be the only way to revive the show. Others think Kimmel's refusal to evolve is a dead end, and that keeping him on air could do more harm than good. The tension has created a tug-of-war within Disney, with no clear solution in sight. While Kimmel's ratings are in freefall, his fellow late-night host Jimmy Fallon has managed to maintain a slightly better standing. The key difference? Fallon has leaned into more lighthearted and family-friendly humor, avoiding the heavy-handed political jokes that have driven many viewers away from Kimmel. The contrast between the two hosts has sparked conversations about whether Kimmel's insistence on staying political is doing more harm than good. Jimmy Kimmel's situation feels like déjà vu when you think about what happened to Gina Carano. Remember her? She was fired from The Mandalorian practically overnight after posting controversial opinions on social media. Disney claimed it was all about protecting their brand, saying Carano's posts didn't align with their values. But here's the kicker. While Carano was immediately shown the door, Kimmel is still sitting comfortably on his late-night throne, despite sinking ratings and constant backlash. Why the difference? Carano made headlines for her online comments, while Kimmel's controversies play out on national TV in front of millions. Yet he's still getting chance after chance. Disney clearly doesn't mind keeping him around, even as his jokes divide audiences, and his behavior makes headlines for all the wrong reasons. This isn't just about ratings. It's about accountability, or lack of it. I have been talking a lot about Kimmel and his political jokes, but let's make this more concrete. What did he actually say? He's taken endless shots at Donald Trump, calling him everything from a lunatic to a sociopath, which might get laughs from one side of the aisle, but alienates the other half of the country. One of his most controversial moments was when he compared unvaccinated Americans to drunk drivers, saying they're putting others in danger just by existing. Social media exploded, with many calling him out for being tone-deaf and out of touch with everyday people. Then there's his jab at Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, where he dubbed him America's worst governor. That didn't sit well with a huge chunk of viewers, especially those who support DeSantis. And it's not just the topics. Kimmel's delivery often feels less like a joke and more like a scolding. People used to watch late-night TV to laugh, not to feel lectured. Instead of finding creative ways to poke fun at both sides, Kimmel's humor has become predictable and one-sided, leaving many of his longtime fans frustrated. At this point, some viewers are just flipping the channel to escape the constant political commentary. A big part of Kimmel's problem is his reliance on political humor. While late-night hosts often dabble in politics, Kimmel has leaned heavily into divisive topics, alienating large portions of his audience. Viewers who once tuned in for lighthearted comedy now feel like they're being lectured to, and the ratings reflect that. At a time when people are craving escapism, Kimmel's approach is driving them elsewhere. The big question now is whether Kimmel can bounce back. Hosts like Jay Leno, David Letterman, and Conan O'Brien managed to dominate the airwaves without leaning too hard into controversy. They focused on timeless comedy and relatable humor, earning their place as legends in the industry. Kimmel's refusal to adapt is a major roadblock, but he's still a recognizable name in the industry. If he's willing to take risks, switch up his material, and move away from the polarizing humor that's alienated so many viewers,